Hey guys, my name's Dimitri, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the recent Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight and what I think about it honestly as an outsider. I've never watched boxing. This was my first time watching boxing like live, and just watching it in general. In the background I got going on is Roblox Boofsville, a little fun Roblox skating game. Um, well, I kind of want to talk about the fight because it was honestly insane. At least the first two rounds of it were, right? Um, so for me, obviously, this was my first boxing match that I watched. Um, and I was honestly quite hyped up for it, right? I hopped on, I started watching at 5 p.m. PST time, and that's when I realized, oh, there's a couple fights before that. And I was like, okay, no biggie, I'll watch them. Learn something. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the fights before, the big one, they were phenomenal. I mean, every person out there was fighting good. Um, the Goya versus Nunes fight was kind of, I feel like that fight was kind of one-sided. Um, but whatever. Then the other fight, Mario versus, or was it, no, um, Barros versus Ramos, that was a good fight. And then the two ladies that fought, I don't remember their name. It was like Katie Taylor and something Serrano, I think. Those fights were phenomenal. They were fun to watch. Um, you know, the illegal headbutt was kind of crazy. Was not expecting that, but maybe they'll rematch and they'll get that cleared up. Who really knows? But it was fun. And as a first-time viewing experience of boxing, I'm glad that was my first experience. The fights were fun to watch. It was exciting. Um, and hey, maybe next time there's a boxing event, I might go and watch it live again, right? Um, but then came on the main show, Mike versus Tyson, or Mike versus Tyson, Mike versus Paul or Jake, whatever, and they fought. And I'm gonna be honest, going into this fight, me and all my friends were sitting in VC, and we were all like, we pretty much had our money on Mike, okay? Um, and I mean, I'm sure a lot of other people did too. Drake actually put 350K on Mike. Um, so that was insane. Um, and I mean, I knew this fight was gonna be probably one-sided, but I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, okay, I get to see Mike Tyson. Growing up, I heard all about him. I'll get to see him fight one last time. So now I watched it live. Um, Jake had his goofy ass intro pulling up in the car. That took forever. I'm surprised Logan wasn't holding a Prime bottle or anything, I'm gonna be honest. Um, instead he was holding some deodorant that he kept on spraying for some reason, but whatever. Um, what else? And then, I see, Mike walked in, um, all alone, all solo, him and his gang, his team. And I mean, it was cool, right? And then the boxing started. And now that I think about it, right? After all, it is a 50, like a 58-year-old Mike versus a 27-year-old Jake. It's kind of easy to tell who's gonna win, right? Obviously, the young person who's been fighting for 7 years in a row now, or whatever, is obviously gonna win this match because he's just more in shape. He's recently like fought a lot of people. He kind of knows what's up, right? Unlike Mike, who's been retired, living his life, and only had like 6 months to prepare, I think. Plus, I think he got an injury, so that took some time. So, Mike wasn't exactly in his prime. I mean, he is 58 years old. But I mean, I personally thought that Mike was gonna at least mess Jake up, right? Um, but that just didn't happen, right? Mike did land a couple good punches in the first couple rounds. He got some nicks in some later rounds, but overall, I think Mike Tyson really held back. And that kind of makes sense. He After round two, he saw 6 rounds to go. 2 minutes each, with 1 minute break in between. Not a lot of break time, especially for a man his age. I mean, receiving blows, being punched and stuff like that. That's gonna hurt no matter what age you are, and if you're 50, that's gonna hurt even more. Um, but, and Jake was getting good hits on Tyson too. Like, these hits weren't just like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna punch you. It's like, no, like, they were powerful punches. But Mike was just not able to send that energy back to Jake. And that's so unfortunate, in my opinion, because I feel like Mike, he could have done so much more. Um, but he kind of didn't, which, again, I understand 58-year-old versus 27-year-old. What's gonna happen? The young guy's gonna win. But this show was being hyped up, I think for a year, 2 years. I don't know. It's been in the works for a long time, right? And honestly, you could have watched the first 2 rounds and called it a day. You really didn't need all those extra rounds to tell who was gonna win. Um, Although I gotta say, I mean, okay, again, I'm not a boxer. I don't watch boxing all too much. Um, but from what I could tell, right, from like an outsider looking in, Jake, Jake was definitely holding back. I feel like Jake could have KO'd Mike. I'm gonna be honest, especially like in the last few rounds. Um, yeah, 100% could have happened, and I'm kind of glad that it didn't. As much of a spectacle it would have been, it just wouldn't have been good for either of them, right? For Mike, he's old. There's only so many hits that you can receive before it becomes dangerous, right? And it would have just honestly destroyed Jake's career more than it is already. I mean, everyone's making fun of him, right? Oh, he won against a 50-year-old man, right? Like, who would have known? Um, and if he would have knocked Mike out, that would have been just not good. Um, but I'm really disappointed because after the first 2 rounds, it really felt like I was watching like it wasn't even a dance. I don't even know like what to say. Like, compared to the last 2 fights before that, where we saw bloodshed, people being nearly knocked out, falling down to the ground, punches being like served and received, like that was fun to watch. Even as a person who was just here for Mike Tyson, right? But then to see the Mike Tyson fight, not see anything happen, that was like crazy. I mean, I see there's on YouTube, there's like highlight videos of them fighting. What highlights? There was barely anything that was going on. And again, I know people in the comments might be like, oh, again, he's an old man fighting a young dude. Like, what do you expect? I don't know, right? Like, it's being hyped up forever. Jake, was trash talking Mike. Um, you know, Mike was saying that he was gonna win, like that pre-game interview. Like, when I saw that, I was like, damn, okay, this dude's really gonna do something to him. Fortunately, didn't happen. Um, and what I understand now is that this show was honestly just for the money. That's what it was, right? It was just, it wasn't even a boxing match. It was just a show for the money. Um, because I don't even know how to, like, properly say this. This was being hyped up forever, right? It's being hyped up. Netflix got a hold of the show, or whatever. And, you know, they were both releasing, like, training videos and stuff like that. And a lot of people say that in the, like, training videos, Mike was just not looking strong. After a couple punches, he was already being worn out, you know? But it was, like, smartly edited that, like, the average person wouldn't realize that, like, you know, he's not doing too good, although it really doesn't take an expert to tell, you know, that, hey, he's not in good shape. Um, you know, so this show was definitely for the money. I feel really bad for all the people that pulled up to Texas because, like, the show was just not that exciting. And to all the people watching online, the show sucks it, like, even more. Because, I mean, you know, in real life, you at least were there. You got to watch it happen, you know, right in front of you. Um, but if you're online, you pretty much missed, like, half of the fights. You know, not even just the Jake and Mike. You missed, like, the Serenos one, the Barros one, because, like, the servers just weren't able to handle all the people coming in. And that's so funny. Like, I can't believe that a streaming platform would not be able to tell, like, hey, maybe, you know, we need to, like, upgrade our infrastructure, right? Like, this is a fight that, like, kids, grandparents, you know, everyone is gonna be watching, right? I mean, it's Mike Tyson. He's came out of retirement just for this one fight, which ended up being, you know, a show more than a fight, but, like, you know, he came out of retirement. Everyone's gonna be watching him, right? And yet they couldn't. They just, I don't know, like, didn't do anything about it. The server sucked. It was buffering the whole entire time, lagging. Like, me and my friends were sitting in VC and we all had it pulled up and we were all streaming it. So in case if one person's stream started buffering, we just switch over to, like, the other ones because, like, that was the only way to watch it. Um, again, it's sad. Um, the fight was honestly disappointing. I mean, it was nice to see them fight. It was cool. They did land some punches. Jake has a crooked nose now, but I don't know. I just feel like both parties were holding back, and it was just all for money, and that's what it kind of is, right? If they really wanted to box, um, I think either in round 1 or 2, Mike would have KO'd Jake, um, or Jake would have KO'd Mike. You know, obviously I do understand old man fighting. You know, his legs aren't, you know, moving. Like, I mean, Mike, his upper half, he definitely was ready to throw, like, a nice punch, but he just wasn't able to keep up with Jake, and it felt more like I was watching, like, a cat and a dog run around the ring, and, you know, I'm glad that I got to watch it live and whatnot. Um, you know, live, I mean, by, like, streaming service, but I really wish that had gone down some other way, but, you know, it didn't. It went down the way it did, and I still think the same of Mike. I think he's the GOAT, you know. Um, I still think the thing is the same of Jake. He's just a dude who shouldn't be in boxing, you know. I mean, sure, he has a pretty good career, I guess. He's been fighting and stuff, but I don't know. Um, I just feel very, like, after the show, me and my friends, we were all like, yeah, we just feel empty. Because the fight should have gone down another way. Um, apparently, though, Conor McGregor and what's his name? Jake tried doing a fight, but because of contracts and whatnot, that can't really happen, which, you know, sucks. But when that happens, hey, I'm gonna watch it. Although it'll probably just be another show. Um, you know, I really don't know what else to say. I'm glad that Mike Tyson is safe though. He's good. It would have been really bad to see him, be knocked out by Paul. And not even because, like, it's, Jake Paul and, gotta make fun of him. Just because, like, my guy's old. At that age, being knocked out with a punch, not good. But thankfully, it's okay. Thankfully, the fight wasn't too violent, although it would have been really funny to see Mike land some more punches on Jake, but we saw what we saw. It was a good fight, and yeah, hopefully he doesn't fight again, although he really wants to fight Logan. So I don't know, I guess we'll see. Yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what you guys think of the fight down below in the comments. Again, I don't understand old man versus young man, but I don't know. I kind of feel like Mike was holding back, and I feel like Jake was holding back. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. And I'm gonna just keep trying to skateboard my way around Boostville. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.